Businesses in Ontario, subject to the Occupational Health and Safety Act, have to have a health and safety program according to Section 25, Duties of the Employer. Section 25 2J says that all employers have to have a written occupational health and safety policy statement, have it signed, dated, and posted in the workplace, and then develop and implement a program to support that statement. The challenge for employers is there's no real defined definition of a program. There are a number of elements that are common to every business, but then there are also uniqueness to your business depending on the activity and the nature of the employment that you have there. Some common elements include things like having a health and safety rep. So if you have less than 19 employees, you have to have a health and safety representative, and that's covered under Section 8 of the Occupational Health and Safety Act. If you have 20 or more employees, then you need to have a joint health and safety committee, and that's covered under Section 9 of the Occupational Health and Safety Act. Every employer in Ontario has to have a violence and harassment policy and program. That's covered under Section 32.0.1. Workers have the right to refuse unsafe work, so that's covered again under Section 43 of the Occupational Health and Safety Act. So you're going to need policies and procedures around these specific elements of the legislation. One more example of that is the duty to report if you have a serious injury to the Ministry of Labour, Immigration, Training and Skills Development. So that you should have a policy and a program around accident incident investigations and reporting requirements to the WSIB and to the Ministry of Labour, Immigration, Training and Skills Development. So those are common elements to every business. Then you have the hazard side of the business. So this is how people really get injured based on the environment that they work in or the activities that they're engaged in. So this is specifically denoted under Section 25(2)(d), where the employer, you must acquaint a worker with the hazards in the job. It's also covered under Section 27, where the supervisors have to advise workers of any potential actual danger in the work. The best way to do this is to develop a hazard management process. This will be unique to the nature of your business. If you're a manufacturing facility, for example, you'll have much different risks and activities than would an office environment or a restaurant. So you're going to want to look at doing some form of a hazard assessment. There are different types and styles and processes that you can use that range in complexity, from a simple general hazard environment assessment or physical assessment to what we refer to as a HIRA, or a hazard identification risk analysis process. Either way, you want to have some sort of written format so you can have an explicit understanding of the hazards and the risks in your business. This will allow you to apply the hierarchy of controls, which gets you to eliminate the hazards that you can. From there, you're going to need to develop controls on the rest. From a standpoint of a business and the demand for resources and the safety priorities, you're going to look at your biggest risks first and ensure that you over-determine success on the controls for those hazards. Then you're going to assign each supervisor the hazards in their department and make sure that the workers are aware of the controls that you've created under your program and that they're following them and understand them and can make sure they do their job safely so that the hazards are minimized and the risks are minimized as well. So that's the hazard management process part of your business. This all comes together and creates your health and safety